What are tactical nuclear weapons and how might Russia deploy them on the battlefield? This map highlights the range of the ATACMS missile, a long-range precision weapon. The presence of these missiles in Ukrainian hands poses a significant threat to the Russian military as they make airfields, bunkers, and ammunition storage facilities vulnerable to attack. In response to this escalation, Russia has issued threats to use tactical nuclear weapons in areas where HIMARS and ATACMS missiles are stationed. If, in a hypothetical scenario, the Russian army is forced to retreat due to Ukrainian advances or a successful counterattack, Russia may respond by launching Iskandar or Kinzhal missiles with Tactical Nukes warhead. These missiles are capable of striking targets located 100 to 200 miles away from the Russian border. Such a strike would be intended to disrupt Ukrainian reinforcements and logistics, cutting off their ability to sustain further operations. This approach, while speculative, underscores the high-stakes nature of the conflict and the potential risks involved in further escalation. Tactical nuclear weapons, often referred to as tactical nukes, are small-scale nuclear weapons designed for use over relatively short distances. They differ significantly from strategic nuclear weapons. These are bigger weapons and are typically designed to travel long distances and cause massive destruction, often targeting large urban areas or critical infrastructure. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union developed and maintained 4,500 arsenals of strategic nuclear weapons, capable of being launched over long distances into enemy territory. Today, Russia is estimated to possess approximately 2,100 tactical nuclear weapons. Two key Russian missile systems capable of delivering tactical nuclear weapons are the Iskandar M ballistic missile, with a range of 400 to 500 kilometers, and the Kalibr cruise missile, which boasts a range of approximately 1,500 kilometers. Tactical nuclear weapons vary significantly in size and destructive power. The smallest may have a yield of just 1 kilotons or less, while larger variants can reach up to 100 kilotons. For comparison, the atomic bomb drop on Hiroshima in 1945 had a yield of 15 kilotons and resulted in approximately 146,000 deaths. This potential use of tactical nuclear weapons aligns with the concept of escalate to de-escalate, a strategy aimed at compelling adversaries to retreat or back down in the face of potential nuclear escalation. Let's take a look at how the Russian will use air-launched tactical nuclear weapons if needed. They have been preparing for this since the Cold War, using different aircraft as the primary air launch platform. During the Cold War, American planes, primarily the B-52 bombers, played a crucial role with at least 12 aircraft, would take turns to fly, thus remaining airborne almost 24 hours a day. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Soviet Union's only nuclear bomber, the Tu-95, had to return back due to its limited range, considering there were no refueling capabilities. This led to an arms race between the two superpowers. In response, the U.S. developed the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, the B-1 Lancer, and the B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, which are billion-dollar aircraft. The Russian answer to the arms race was the Tu-160, also known as the White Swan. This is one of the largest supersonic aircraft, capable of launching around 16 cruise and hypersonic missiles, and its older variant, the Tu-22, features swept-wing characteristics, also known as a carrier killer. We will also look at a scenario exploring what happens when several nuclear weapons are dropped and the resulting effects on the countries due to the nuclear dust fallout. So stay tuned all in the video ahead. As stated, Russia has different types of nuclear-capable bombers, namely the Tupolev-22 supersonic plane. Here is the White Swan, the Tupolev-160. And finally, the contra-rotating propeller Tu-95, which will be in service until the year 2040. This is the nuclear-capable Tu-22M, also known in Russia as a carrier killer because they can destroy American nuclear aircraft carrier. The Tu-22 is a big, sleek aircraft, built mostly of aircraft aluminum alloys with a dart-like body structure and swept flight surfaces. While flying at low altitudes, the wings are spread open to create lift, while at supersonic speeds, the wings are retracted to give it an aerodynamic structure. It has twin Dobrynin VD-7M afterburning turbojets, with one on each side of the tail fin, that can fly up to 4,350 miles, which translate to 7,000 kilometers without aerial refueling. But the Russian wants to compete with the famous B-1 Lancer to make up for this range. They built the Tu-160, reporting name Black Jack, which can fly up to 7,500 miles. This is around 12,000 kilometers without aerial refueling. It is powered by these 4 afterburning turbofan engines located on both sides of the wing. As the older version, it also has an integrated low-wing configuration with a variable swept wing feature. These high-lift devices include slats, double-slotted flaps, spoilers, and flaperons used for roll control. Interestingly, the older Tu-95 can fly up to 9,400 miles, that is around 15,000 kilometers, without aerial refueling, which is much greater in distance but slower in terms of speed. The Black Jack is capable of carrying 6K H-55MS nuclear strategic cruise missiles, codename AS-15 Kent, inside its weapons bay on a rotary launcher. Further back, there are 2 weapons bay that can carry an additional 8 nuclear-capable missiles in this section, such as the short-range KH-15 nuclear missiles. This brings the total to around 14 missiles in one single aircraft. Notably, the Tu-160 generally does not carry weapons payloads under its wings, a design choice made intentionally to maintain speed and stealth. Similar to the Tu-22M, the Tu-160 has enormous wings that can open to create lift. The port wings actuator allows the variable geometry outer tapered wings to sweep back from 20 degrees to 65 degrees, providing high-performance flight characteristics at both supersonic and subsonic speeds. This impressive performance is made possible by 4 Samurai NK321 turbofan engines, each providing a maximum thrust of 25,000 kilograms, which translates to around 55,000 pounds. The engines are installed in 2 pods under the wing shoulders, with the air intake incorporating an adjustable vertical wedge. This technique allows the Tu-160 to reach speed of around 2,220 kilometers per hour, which translate to Mach 2 speed. The Tu-22M is also a great bomb truck. It can carry a load of up to 50,000 pounds when loaded to maximum capacity. It can carry around 6 units of KH-15 short-range nuclear missiles in the weapon bay. Alternatively, it can carry older conventional bombs such as the FAB-1500 unguided weapon system, while the updated variants of the Tu-22M can carry 4 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles on both sides of the wings and near the exhaust structure. Known as a carrier killer, the Tu-22M can fly close to the sea, miles away from the target, and release its 4 hypersonic missiles one after the other. These extremely fast missiles can fly very close to the surface. The aircraft carrier's defense system might respond with the Sea Sparrow missiles located at both the front and back, potentially destroying 1 or 2 of the incoming missiles. However, the last line of defense consists of the Gatling guns located on the aircraft carrier. These guns serve as the final close-in support system and might be able to destroy 1 or more hypersonic missiles. Suppose even one Russian Kinzhal missile manages to sneak through the American aircraft carrier's defense system. In that case, it can seriously damage and disable the operations of this billion-dollar floating airport, hence the name carrier killer. Comparing this to a person will help you understand its size, and it is really huge. Let's look at its cross-section. This is what the Iskandar tactical nukes might look inside, but take these animations with a grain of salt. Starting from the bottom, there is the ejection pod. The second part consists of steerable fins attached to jet vanes. The third part of the missile is the rocket motor. This is the guidance section of the missile. And the last part is the warhead section or nuclear weapon, which weighs around 500 kilograms, translating to approximately 1,100 pounds. All this engineering propels the missile to an astonishing terminal speed of Mach 12, which is around 14,700 kilometers per hour or 9,207 miles per hour. The Tu-95 weapon system can carry a total of 8 KH-101 missiles under 4 double missile pylons, in addition to 6 KH-55 missiles in the internal rotary missile launcher. The KH-101 is a long-range standoff weapon. It is carried and launched by this bomber aircraft, which is larger and heavier than the KH-55 but retains a similar design with a drop-down engine. Externally, it has some similarities with the US AGM-158 air-launched cruise missile, though the Russian missile has a significantly longer range. This missile is armed with a conventional or tactical nuclear warhead and has a range of 3,000 kilometers, depending on the version. While the missile weighs between 2,200 to 2,400 kilograms and can carry a 400 to 450 kilogram warhead. As the name suggests, nuclear bombers are aircraft designed to deliver nuclear weapons. Let's take a look at how they might work. The three planes can work together as nuclear and attack aircraft. In Stage 1, the Tu-22M can sweep in and target enemies using Kh-22 or 32 long-range supersonic anti-shipping cruise missiles, or the Kinzhal, specifically designed to engage U.S. Navy supercarriers. Meanwhile, the Tupolev Tu-95 can be positioned as a command and control center, while also striking less defended infrastructures like the usual communication towers. This slows down the enemy response in the battlefield. Finally, the Tu-160 Blackjack, also known as the White Swan, would launch cruise missiles once in range. These missiles would travel low and slow under enemy radar to reach their targets. This tactic is typical for all bombers in a nuclear war scenario. The Tu-160 can open its weapon bay doors and release nuclear cruise missiles one after another. These cruise missiles deploy their wings when dropped, and it can fly towards their targets, creating a nuclear explosion upon impact. However, the aftermath of such an attack can cause a nuclear fallout. When a nuclear weapon detonates, dust mixed with radioactive fission products are drawn into the detonation's radius, even spreading towards the attacker's own country and people. This nuclear dust can spread all through Europe, Russia, China, and even the rest of Asia if this happens to explode mid-air. This creates a situation where nobody wins, as it affects a lot of people, including those who initiated the attack. We make original videos from scratch, so please do subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos.